Okay, look at this problem. 4x minus 1x equals 12. So how do we solve a little problem like that? Well, first of all, in algebra, I want to acknowledge that there's these funny words at the chapter titles and the chapter headings and the section headings. And so as a student, you have two humps to get over. One of them is these big scary words. And they could throw you. And when you see these big scary words like linear equations up at the top left of this slide, or in your chapter titles and headings in your book, and maybe whatever digital media you're working on, you'll see these words, and maybe you'll hear your math teacher say these words. And I have a special gift for you. They are utterly and absolutely meaningless. You don't have to learn these words at all in order to do math. Math is math. And these titles are there just to scare you, really. They have no other purpose except you got to give a label of some kind or a title to each chapter or section of your math book. But I wish they'd have given them names like Goo Goo Gaga or some kind of baby talk, and then they wouldn't be nearly as intimidating. But just realize that these words are just there to scare you. They could be Boo Boo Baba or Goo Goo Gaga, or they could be anything. So don't be afraid of these big scary words. They're not on your test. They're not on any problems that you have to do. They're not on your homework. They're not on your exams. You never have to know these words that are the chapter titles. And it just kind of make fun of it. I have a shark here and a Tyrannosaurus Rex. I call the shark the great word shark and the Tyrannosaurus Rex. And they're just here to come up with these words and try to scare you. So I just want you to totally ignore these big, scary words. I know that's hard to believe, and you're like, what? And I'm like, what? And I'm like, what? I'm like, what? Yeah, boop. I know you can't believe it, but really, you don't need to know these words. Math is the same in any language. Okay? So let's ignore the big word. And if you look down here at the camel, I'm making a mark on the first hump. If we just ignore the big words, we're already over the first hump. And the second hump is just to learn how to do the little math problems. And the little math problems are, surprisingly, they're just multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. And you've been doing those for your whole life, right? You've been doing those since first grade. So we're going to skip the big words, and then we're just going to do the really easy part, which is the math problems, which are addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And for that, we have Fluffy Piggy. And Fluffy Piggy is here, and Fluffy Piggy says, all you have to do in math class is the math problems, which are easy. You don't have to worry about those big words. So here we go. How do we do the math problem? In this case, we see some numbers, we see x, and then we have an equal sign, some numbers on the other side. So whenever we see something like this with just x and some numbers, we're going to want to solve for x, or isolate x, or get x by itself. Those are all words that mean the same thing. And the first thing I do is just simplify everything. Sometimes it's written unnecessarily complex. So let's just simplify this, what we see on the left side of the equation, 4x minus 1x. Well, what is that? Well, 4 minus 1 is 3. So 4x minus 1x is 3x. Okay? 4 times anything minus 1 times anything is the same as 3 times anything. For example, if you had 4 apples and you took away 1 apple, you'd be left with 3 apples, right? So 4x minus 1x equals 3x. X could be anything. Then on the right, it's just 12. I'm just going to rewrite the 12. Can't get any simpler than that. That's just a number. So now we just simplified. 4x minus 1x, that's 3x. And on the right side, 12. So 3x equals 12. And we still like to get x by itself. Well, we got this pesky little 3 over here. How do we get rid of that 3? Well, remember that little thingy poo, that little ruly poo or thingy that says that you can do anything you want to both sides of the equation as long as you do the same thing to both sides of the equation? So let's use that. Let's get rid of this 3. So what if we divide both sides of the equation by 3? Divide both sides of the equation by 3. If we do that, the reason I did that is that 3 divided by 3 is 1. Anything divided by itself is 1. That's this term right here. 3 divided by 3. Well, that simplifies to 1. Okay, so that's 3 divided by 3 is 1. X, I'm just going to rewrite that. That stays the same. And that's equal to, on the right side, 12 divided by 3, which is 4. So 1x equals 4. And I can write that more simply. I can just say x equals 4. 1x equals 4 and x equals 4. It's 2 ways of saying the same thing. We don't really need that 1 there. So the solution is x equals 4. Yay! Piggy's happy. I'm happy. You're happy. We're all happy. And we could stop right there. That's all you have to do. Except we're human beings, right? Sometimes we make mistakes. Maybe we made a mental error in the process of doing this. Could have done something stupid. I do something stupid all the time. So it would be nice if we could check our work and make sure that, yes, this is the answer, right? Before we turn in this on our test or our homework or whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the original equation and just plug in our solution and see if it holds true. Does it stay equal? So let me just first rewrite our original problem. 4x minus 1x equals 12. I'm going to plug in our 4. Let's do that and see if it stays true. So 4 times x, but what's x? Well, we solved for it. We determined that it's 4 minus 1 times x, but once again, what's x? We solved for it as 4. And that equals, quite an equal sign there, equals 12 on the right side. So let's just keep simplifying. This 4 times 4 term, what's that? 4 times 4, 16. Minus 1 times 4, that's 4, right? 1 times 4 is 4. And that equals, on the right side, nothing's changed. It's still 12 over there. Does this look like something you can handle? Yes, you can do this. 16 minus 4 is 12. Yay. And that equals, on the right side, can you rewrite the same number over and over and over? Yes, I know you can. So 12 equals 12. And that means it checked out. This is a true statement, right? So I'm going to give it a little check mark there, right? And that means that our solution of x equals 4 is correct. So I'm going to give us an A+.
Thumbs up and subscribe. For more videos like this, check out algebravideos.com.